Does anybody know where this picture is taken at? Legoland, that's right. So 2014 was the year of Legoland for the Hess household. And I'm excited, or maybe embarrassed to say, that we not only have not one, not two, but 3 Lego tables in our basement right now, and they are all under reconstruction because a couple of months ago our children decided to have a Lego City apocalypse day, and they destroyed everything. And so now we're in the midst of rebuilding. But on one occasion in December of 2014, I was trying to escape the Legoland, and you know, if you have kids, you go to these attractions and you pay your ticket price, or we actually had a membership for a year there, and you go through the attraction, and then once you leave the attraction, they always have what at the very end? The store, okay. So on this particular day, near Christmas time, I was trying to escape the store, trying not to buy just one more box of Legos. And so I just left my kids in there along with the other kids just to terrorize the store employees at the time. And on that particular day, I walked out of the store. I had my hair pulled back in a ponytail. Like, nobody would be able to recognize me. I had my hair in a ponytail, no makeup on. I had on an amped sweatshirt, I had on my amped bag and my sneakers, and I was just walking out, not really paying attention to anything, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, Dr. Hess." And I look up and he goes, "Hey, I'm John. I was down at your practice recently for your doctor's report." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, good to see you again. You know, hope you enjoyed it. You know, what are you doing here at Legoland? You got kids or something?" And he goes, no, I don't have any kids, but, you know, I just graduated yesterday from Life University, and so I'm here with my family. We're celebrating along with my little brother and little sister before we get back up to Michigan. I'm like, wow, congratulations on your graduation. You're going back up to Michigan, you know. What are your plans? You know, my husband and myself, we help a lot of young folks like yourself learn how to open up their own clinic. Is that something that you want to do? You know, what are your plans? And he looks at me and he says, "Well, you know, I'm not really sure. I was thinking about maybe opening up my own clinic, or, you know, maybe I should associate for a couple of years." And so I'm sitting there thinking, wow, you just graduated yesterday, walked across the stage, and he hasn't figured out yet if he wants to open his own clinic, because, I mean, that's a pretty big decision there. That's not just a cut and dry decision. There's a lot of steps, a lot of financial, just a lot of things that have to happen in order for you to open up a business. So then I say to him, wow, okay, well, you know, what part of Michigan are you going to? Because I actually have a friend in Michigan that, you know, is looking for an associate. And then he says to me, well, I'm not really sure, just any part of Michigan where I can get a job. I said, oh, okay, well, I'm just trying to still be friendly here. And I'm like, well, you know, what technique are you going to do? He says, well, you know, I really like Thompson drop protocol. I'm like, oh, yeah, I love it too. That's what we do in our office. And he goes, and I also like some Gonstead, diversified, and I was thinking about doing a little activator on children. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of techniques there. You know, some similarities there, but there's a lot of differences there in analysis. Are you going to be using any instrumentation? And he says, yeah, you know, I was thinking about that too. You know, I know you and your husband, y'all use a subluxation station, right? I'm like, yeah, you know, we love it. Great educational tool for the practice members. And he says, but, you know, I was trying to figure that out, what I wanted to use. So I was thinking, maybe I would use a nervoscope. I was like, oh, so you're going to gown people for Gonstead with the nervoscope? And he's like, well, I'm not really sure. And then he did like a total 180 on me and said, actually, maybe I was also thinking about getting a Titron so I can do pattern work for upper cervical knee chest. And then the next sentence that came out of his mouth was, and I just signed up to go to a torque release technique seminar in a couple of weeks here. And before I could get the next sentence out, that's when, unfortunately, my kids ran out of the store, they grabbed my arm, and then drugged me back in to tell me exactly what they wanted for Christmas and why I needed to buy it for them right then and there. And this is my daughter, Alyssa, with her grand gift for Christmas, the Dolphin Cruiser. If you don't know what that is, buy it. Your kids will love it. And it's like this 3-tiered cruiser with bathrooms, bedrooms, kitchens, everything inside of it. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, back to John. So how many of you here, raise your hand if you think this young man lacks some clarity and some decision-making about what he needed to do? I sure did. And when he told me that he's going to go anywhere in Michigan where he's going to get a job, that's when like these red flags went off in my brain of, wow, raise your hand now if you think he may actually end up in a job that's maybe not so desirable in a situation that he hadn't planned on when he started chiropractic school. Yeah, I do. And for me and my husband, you know, we had some struggles just like this young man when we were in our mid to late 20s opening up our own clinic. You know, I remember at a time where I lacked clarity. I remember a time when I lacked confidence. I remember knowing that somebody needed maybe 60 visits and a care plan to get them totally better, and yet I was too afraid to tell them that, and so I told them and sold them only on a 30-visit care plan. I remember the first 5 years of my husband and myself's career, we did one-on-one report of findings. And I loathed that process. I did not like bringing somebody into my doctor's office, closing the door, trying to explain chiropractic within 5 minutes to them, show them their x-rays, and then get them to commit to care. While at the same time, I'm sitting there thinking, I hope they don't ask me any questions. I hope they don't ask me any questions because I've got people right now waiting to get adjusted. And so at that time, I lacked the proper systems and procedures to do what we converted to, which was a group doctor's report or doctor's orientation, whatever you want to call it, so that we could showcase chiropractic in a 45 to 50-minute class and get them to commit to care before we even showed them their x-rays and what their out-of-pocket cost was. And so in many areas, you know, I related to what this young man was telling me and where he was at in his life, but unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to continue the conversation with him at that time. So 5 years into practice, my husband and myself were stuck at a certain level, and we knew that God had us here for a reason and that we wanted to serve more people. And so what did we do? Well, we started to attend conferences. We started to hang out with people that were more successful than we were. It's really not that hard. You can just kind of find people that are current, they're relevant, they're successful, and just do what they tell you to do, and you'll be successful too. So it's interesting today for me that Gilles invited myself and my husband this weekend to speak because for many, many years, my husband and myself were kind of in our little bubble in South Atlanta. Our practice is only about 45 minutes south from here. And we were in our bubble, grinding it out, talking to successful people, and just growing our practice and growing our practice, kind of staying quiet in the background. And so our practice went from 150 people a week to 300, then to 500, then to 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. And our biggest week ever was in the 1,500s. And we kind of stayed in our bubble. And as all this was happening, at that time is when the peak program at Life University began, and we learned about it, and we said, wow, you know, we'd like to get some help down here, get some people, maybe they can learn a couple things, and help us grow our practice even more. And so we started to have a following, a small following of students that would come down to our practice and learn what we were doing. Because you see, I believe that with the right communication, that with the right philosophy, coupled with proper systems and procedures, that you can have the practice of your dreams. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of passion, for chiropractic and a lot of passion for our profession, but they don't have it coupled with the other piece of the puzzle within their practice to really be able to serve the masses like they want to. And so it's been real interesting through this time with these peak interns to watch people really be able to replicate what we've already accomplished actually in a shorter amount of time. And so over the years, what's happened is we started to get more text messages. We started to get more Facebook messages. We started to get more emails. And that was when our children were itty-bitty babies, and here I was breastfeeding our kids. My husband's on the phone 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning with people, trying to talk them through different things of maybe how to do a dinner, how to do a corporate talk, how to do a church talk. And it just got to be too much because we felt like we were starting to be like a record player of that song that just never ends, and it was repeating, repeating, and repeating. And so what happened was about 2 years ago, we went and flew out to Golden, Colorado to meet with our best friends, Michael Viscarelli and Tara Viscarelli. I know Dr. Viscarelli spoke recently at a Life Assembly here. And this is the 4 of us at this meeting in Golden, Colorado, where we actually met up with 4 successful entrepreneurs to kind of brainstorm this crazy idea that we had to help young people equip themselves with the business skill sets to open up their own clinics and have the practices that we were already having. And so throughout this meeting, these entrepreneurs who we had never met before, they wanted to get to know us and figure out, what really made us tick. And through a series of conversations, I guess you could say they found out that what makes me tick is I like to do things the right way. So, and my why in life is that there's a recipe for success, there's steps that you have to take, and if you do it in the right way, then you'll get the results you are seeking. And so on a continual basis, my husband, Dr. Jeremy Hess, I always have to remind him that I'm not bossy, I just know how to do things the right way. So if you're here today with your significant other and she is here, please look at them right now and tell them that she's not bossy, she just knows how to do things the right way. And that'll make your life much, much easier. So when you come into my practice, when you come into my house, when you come into my head, there's always a systematic flow to things. And when you're in our practice, for example, there's a systematic flow to how a person walks into our door, how they're greeted, how they're given the article of the day, how they're called back, what we say to them in the adjustment room, how they leave, and how we get them to stay, pay, and refer, and bring their family with them. So my husband can also attest to the fact, though, that when things aren't done the right way, that I get really irritated. So if what I'm about to say right now offends anybody, let me go ahead and apologize. But I get really upset when I walk into a festival and there's another chiropractor there at their booth and they are manipulating the public for free. I don't think that gives value to anything that we do. I also get real irritated when I walk into a networking meeting and I can pick out the chiropractor in the room that looks like they just got out of bed. They threw on a Tommy Bahama t-shirt, some mom jeans, some sandals with white socks, and then they got an earpiece on. Okay, so if that's you, please come see me. Let me take you shopping, okay? Another thing that really irritates me is that many of the public have this skewed perception of chiropractic. And one of the reasons that is because there's people in our profession that don't represent us well. And the video I'm about to show you is a testimony to that because I could do this video multiple times a day throughout the country. Okay, so now we're going to make a phone call to a local office in Atlanta. Here we go. an appointment.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Mary Jones, Jones.
Okay, Miss Jones. When do you want to come in?
Pardon?
When do you want to come in? You want to come in Monday?
Monday doesn't work for me. What are your hours?
We're open from Monday through Friday, from Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6. We go to lunch from 1 to 2, and on Fridays we close at 1 o'clock, 9 to 1.
Okay, and how long does the appointment usually take?
It shouldn't take too long. Where was your accident?
I actually wasn't in an accident. I actually have a migraine headache.
Oh, no, ma'am. We treat, we're a chiropractor.
The chiropractors don't treat migraine headaches?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Well, that's strange because my friend said she got a lot of help at her chiropractor with her migraines.
Okay, what chiropractor was she seeing?
I don't know. So, I mean, that's why I just decided to call you guys up.
I wish we could help you, sweetheart. We specialize in spinal injury. You wasn't in an accident or anything?
No, I wasn't in an accident. I just, this migraine is coming on, and I just really need some help. Do you know somebody that could help me, or?
Yeah, I sure do. You may want to go to the emergency room, sweetheart. Is your head bothering you right now?
It is. It's killing me.
Okay. How often does it bother you like that?
It's been like this for a long time. So you guys can't help me?
No, ma'am. I wish we could. I wish we did specialize in treating the head. I would definitely tell you to come on in.
Okay. Well, let me just call my friend and just find out where she went.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if she treated here, call me back and let me know, and then I'll find out a little bit more about it. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. My name is Tasha.
Thanks, Tasha. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Unbelievable. I just called a local chiropractor's office in Atlanta for my migraine headache, and she told me to go to the emergency room. So those are the types of things that irritate me, but the good news is Life University definitely is not teaching that. So my husband and myself were actually very blessed to be able to partner with the university through the Peak Internship Program so that we can produce chiropractors that are successful, that are actually doing chiropractic. And what really gets my juices going, what really just gives me, I guess, happiness or joy is to see young people like yourselves that are in the room right now who are really hungry, who really want to be successful and want to learn how to be a chiropractor in today's marketplace. And so it can be done. You can have a successful practice right out of school. And along with the university, we've been able to actually witness this over and over and over again. So I'm pleased to show you on this next slide, if it will go. This is Dr. Richard Rosado and his wife, Shari, who's not in the picture. And they are December 2014 graduates from Life University. They just opened up their clinic in Miami, Florida. And this is his third doctor's report in one day. And I have to tell you, even I've never done 3 doctor's reports in one day. I've done 2, not 3 though. And I'm not sure if this one is in English or Spanish. They're in Miami, Florida. This here is Dr. Dan McClyman, his wife, Dr. Megan. They also graduated in December 2014 from Life University, and this is their dinner with the doctor, their first 4 weeks in practice, so that they can showcase neurologically based chiropractic care to their community. And this is Dr. Dan Wallace and his wife, Elise, also a 2014 December graduate who just opened his practice 4 weeks ago, and this is his ribbon cutting in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I know there's some faculty here today, and I know some of you here have touched these people's lives or other people's lives so that they can be successful. And so we're just thankful to be here. We're thankful to partner with the university and just see the success that can occur, and because we want to bring chiropractic to the next level so we can produce critical mass for our profession. Thank you so much.